इमेज गाइडेड रेडियोथेरेपी IGRT की भी शुरुआत हुई, जिससे मरीजों के इलाज में मदद मिल रही है। दिसंबर 2015 में CSIC यानी सेंट्रल सोफिस्टिकेटेड इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स सेल की शुरुआत हुई, जो संस्थान में रिसर्च के लिए अत्याधुनिक तकनीक की उपलब्धता सुनिश्चित कर रही है। साल 2021 में मरीजों के इलाज के लिए एक ही छत के नीचे क्लिनिकल हेमेटोलॉजी और मेडिकल ऑन्कोलॉजी की शुरुआत की गई है, जिससे प्रशिक्षित और अनुभवी मेडिकल डॉक्टर्स बेहतरीन तरीके से कैंसर के इलाज में मदद कर पा रहे हैं। वहीं सुपर स्पेशलिटी सेवाओं के चलते PGI के सर्जिकल गैस्ट्रोएंटरोलॉजी डिवीजन को स्वतंत्र विभाग का दर्जा मिल चुका है। वहीं नेहरू हॉस्पिटल एक्सटेंशन बिल्डिंग, जो ग्रीन बिल्डिंग कॉन्सेप्ट पर आधारित एक अत्याधुनिक परियोजना है, इसमें ऑटोलिरिंगोलॉजी, एंडोक्रिनोलॉजी, हेपेटोलॉजी और रेडियोथेरेपी के विभाग साल 2022 से अपनी पूरी क्षमता के साथ काम कर रहे हैं। जहां स्वास्थ्य सेवा अब विशेषाधिकार नहीं रह गई है।
भारत की अप्रोच सिर्फ हेल्थ केयर तक ही सीमित नहीं, बल्कि हम एक कदम आगे बढ़कर वेलनेस के लिए काम कर रहे हैं।
प्रधानमंत्री
Before we start the program formally, please keep your mobiles on silent mode. Please make sure that mobile phones are kept on silent mode. Also, to make sure that as soon as the chief guest arrives, we welcome the chief guest by standing up. So make sure that all are standing, the house is standing once the guest arrives, and also once the guest along with the DPGI leaves the auditorium. Thank you.
Padam Shri Professor Digambar Behra, escorted by Director PGI, has arrived. Our chief guest, Padam Shri Professor Digambar Behra, escorted by Director PGI, has arrived. It's my privilege and honor to welcome each one of you from deep inside my heart to the inauguration of the new academic session 2025. My humble request to the esteemed dignitaries to please take their chairs on the dais. As is the tradition of this great institute, we begin this day by invoking the blessings of the divine energy for prosperity and positivity. Lighting of the lamp has a very rich cultural and symbolic meaning. The flames of a lamp represents purity, illumination of knowledge, dispelling of ignorance, and takes us from darkness to light. Let us invoke the blessings of Goddess Saraswati to bestow knowledge, wisdom, eloquence, creativity, intellect, and learning. May I now request the dignitaries on the dais to escort our chief guest, Professor Digambar Behra, to light this auspicious lamp. An anthem is a musical composition that defines an organization's history, traditions, and struggles. It has a colossal power to instill a sense of pride, patriotism, and passion in every individual linked to that cause. Now let's drown ourselves into the mesmerizing PGI anthem and feel it from our hearts.
आशाएं जीने की मन में जगाए, असीम ज्ञान की धारा बहाए। आशाएं जीने की मन में जगाए, असीम ज्ञान की धारा बहाए। शिक्षा, विज्ञान और स्वास्थ्य का ये सेवा संस्थान हमारा।
दीक्षा भी है यहाँ, शोध भी, कर्तव्य का है बोध भी। भारत के हर एक प्रांत से आए हुए हैं हम सभी। हर शख्स यहाँ जो आया है, उसे रोग मुक्त कराया है। जीवन यहाँ सभी की आस संजोया है, सभी की आस संजोया है। विश्व कल्याण सर्व मंगलम उद्देश्य है हमारा, संकल्प है संस्थान का, लहराएंगे परचम। हम हैं पीजीआई चंडीगढ़, हम हैं पीजीआई चंडीगढ़, हम हैं पीजीआई चंडीगढ़, हम हैं पीजीआई चंडीगढ़। आर्थ सेवा सर्वभद्र शोधश्च, आर्थ सेवा सर्वभद्र शोधश्च, आर्थ सेवा सर्वभद्र शोधश्च, आर्थ सेवा सर्वभद्र शोधश्च।
I now call upon our dynamic director, Professor Vivek Lal, to deliver his welcome address and also to introduce our revered chief guest, Padam Shri Professor Digambar Behra.
Professor Digambar Behra, the founding fathers of this colossal institute on whose shoulders we all stand today. मेरा आप सभी को नमस्कार, सिर झुका के नमस्कार. As is traditional, January 7th is every year celebrated as the foundation day for the new start of an academic session. This time, I had absolutely no doubt in choosing the chief guest for this session. The chief guest is a giant. Many of us know him as Professor Digambar Behra. I know of him as a human being. I know of him as a giant of giants. He was born in the remotest of remote places in India, in a village where I believe there was no electricity at that time, rose through the ranks, did everything right, kept humanity up front, went on to become a PGI faculty, went on to become the first Dean Research, was also the director of the Sardar Patel Institute in Delhi, and now to cap it all, he has been elected president of the National Academy of Medical Sciences, which is the apical body of medical sciences in India. Thank you so much for coming, sir. It's a privilege, an honor to have you here. And if there is anything which these boys and girls should learn from you, it is just how inspiring your journey has been. I have watched you, sir. I have seen you help the poorest of the poor. I have seen you hold every patient as your responsibility. And I have seen you hold the hands of students, faculty, and colleagues alike. My students, I want to tell you one thing. The other day, I was being interviewed by a journalist from the Tribune. It was a spontaneous extempore interview. They never put the questions. They just had a list of questions and they were throwing it on me like darts. वो होते ना बचपन में गेम खेलते थे darts की. So those questions were coming to me like darts. But because I had the power of PGI inside me, I was able to fend every question with dignity and honor, and I kept the dignity of this institute and the flag of this institute flying high. That is what I expect out of you. I want each and every resident, I want each and every faculty to know that you are in a dham called PGI. This is not an ordinary hospital. This is not a riff-raff hospital. Please remember, this is PGI Chandigarh. And the founding fathers who founded PGI came from all four corners of the globe. Let me tell you that. Professor Kak came from Ireland, Professor Chopra came from Ireland. There were so many who came from overseas. And the rest is history. They created an ecosystem that nourishes us even till this day. I request each one of you in this hall to please give a round of applause to the founding fathers. Some of you are on the front benches. It is this ecosystem that nourishes us. It is this ecosystem that helps us mitigate the pain of our patients. Please remember, we were always devoid of commensurate infrastructure. When I use the word commensurate infrastructure, I make a statement. There is no institute in the whole world which can have an infrastructure to match a footfall of 30 lakhs, which is still going strong. And that lack of infrastructure is actually overcome by your fierce commitment and your devotion. You can overcome lack of infrastructure with your devotion and commitment, but devotion and commitment, the lack of devotion and commitment can never be overcome by equipment. Please remember this phrase. It is your commitment, it is a commitment of nurses, technicians, residents, faculty, and each and every person, including the person who cleans the floor of our hospital, who deserves to be acknowledged, which has led to the glory of this institute and which continues to be amongst the best in the world. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. I'll not go on. I don't want to eat into your time. You have a lot to say today, and you have a lot on your shoulders because you need to inspire this younger generation. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Today, the 7th of January 2025, is the first day of the academic session. Now, this is the day that the cream of India sitting in this hall will embark on an incredible journey of hard work, perseverance, and pursuit of knowledge from the greatest and tallest temple of learning, that is PGIMER Chandigarh. This journey is surely going to be very incredible with ups and downs, but the end product will shine brightly like a star. I now humbly request our Dean Academics, Professor R.K. Rathore, to conduct the traditional and highly cherished pin-up ceremony for the new entrants. Sir, please.
Good morning, everybody. Today, the newly joined residents of July 2024 and January 2025 session will have the pin-up ceremony. This academic event marks the prestigious tradition of welcoming the freshly recruited graduates into their professional streams. May I now request the residents to gently rise from your seats and pin up the lapel pin carrying the PGI emblem on your white coats. Yeah. It is an honor to administer you the oath. Please look at the screen. On behalf of the Institute, I charge you to make yourself a trustworthy physician who will practice medicine with excellence, integrity, and devotion to your patients. I commit you to a life that will bring honor to the profession and the Institute. With this, you are inducted into the highest tradition of academic excellence that this institute stands for. Welcome you all, and congratulations for being selected in PGIMER, the Institute of Par Excellence. Thank you. Jai Hind. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir. Now it's my greatest honor to call upon our magnetic and highly inspirational chief guest of the day, Padam Shri Dr. Digambar Behra, Professor Emeritus PGI Chandigarh, President, National Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, to deliver the inaugural address. Sir, please.
Professor Vivek Lal, Professor Ratho, Dean Academics, Professor Sanjay Jain, Dean Research, former directors, Professor Chawla, Professor Jagatram, Professor Subhash Verma, I could see, the esteemed faculty members, heads of departments, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. At the very outset, I, on my own behalf and on behalf of the National Academy of Medical Sciences, congratulate the young new entrants to the PGI family. You have come here from different parts of the country, from different backgrounds, both socially and from different patterns of teaching and training from your earlier institutions, representing over 700 institutions of India. Maybe some of you are already trained here, are going to study for your postdoctoral courses. After a few years of stay here, you will go back and will contribute to the healthcare system of the country and to serve humanity. Maybe some of you will like to continue as senior residents or may continue here permanently in this institution as its faculty, and maybe some of you will like to sit on the dais as the three gentlemen sitting, including myself, and many front benches sitting here. Maybe some of you will go back to other institutions as teachers and medical leaders later in your life. You see, you have a lot of opportunity and a wide array of responsibility that will carry for the country. Some of you might even move out of the country, like many of our predecessors, which are doing outstanding jobs abroad and being the flag bearers of these great institutions. I express my sincere gratitude to the director for inviting me today to become a part of this celebration. My dear students, I remember about 47 years ago, like a wintry morning as you are here, when I came to this institute as a young student with a lot of hopes, a lot of aspirations. And let me tell you, I am fully satisfied and getting trained in this great institute. I am very happy to see that my teacher, Professor Verma, is here, under whom we are trained, and many of our predecessors, as the director told you, they have started these institutions, and we are here now. PGI was established with an aim and a mandate for three important functions and to excel in these fields, that is patient care, medical education and training, and research. Since its existence, the Institute has demonstrated and achieved and excelled in all these three fields beyond doubt. But always there is a need to improve. Always there is a thing which is called as better than the best. The medical science is ever growing and modern medical practice is challenging. The Institute, has taken up the health issues of this region and make ways how to solve them. Medical education also has undergone tremendous change, and since the time we are trained, the medical science itself has overgrowth on its volume and dimensions. New challenges like newer diseases. As just few years back we faced COVID-19, and there is a rapid exponential growth of diagnostic technologies. Diagnostics and therapeutic dimensions are enormous and challenging. That needs more skills and sophisticated equipments, which obviously needs heavy financing and others that add to the challenge. We need to innovate how to deliver the best services within our financial constraints to innumerable poor patients which need to be taken care of and that need to penetrate to the lowest strata of the society. Our service delivery should be without consideration of caste, creed or color. The Institute has always maintained this philosophy. Our education curriculum needs to include not only technical knowledge but also ethical practices, how to deal with challenging issues in a more practical way, and showing empathy, not apathy, to the patients and its relatives. Patient dealing is an art that needs to be imbibed, which are not mentioned in our medical textbooks. And I am sure as youngsters and our youngsters will learn these issues through their teachers and through their own experience over time. What we have observed over years, that patient dealing is a great casualty in our day-to-day practice that lands us into trouble many times. Our young doctors are the first point of care, so that they need to know the art of patient handling from the very outset. I am glad that some of these issues are now part of the National Medical Council curriculum, even if they may not be sufficient. Education has become easier and accessible now through the availability of internet, social media, and other electronic sources. Students may know or read something through Google anytime, anywhere, and any place. But let me tell you, these can never replace contact teaching or physical teaching by your teachers. Your computer can never teach you how to palpate a spleen or feel a pulse or ballot a kidney. On the other hand, teachers must adapt to different interesting modules of teaching so that the students develop interest in attending your classes, whether theory or practical. It is common in medical colleges that tutorials or clinical classes of certain teachers are more popular, and the same thing also you will see here. The third component is research, which is another important agenda of an institute like ours. In fact, this is one area which makes or marks one institution distinct and the organization stands out from other institutes. The responsibility lies more with the faculty. Quality research and research that has implementation value will make you great and recognizable amongst your peers. You should have innovative ideas, and the topics must be relevant to the region and to the nation and the people at large. I understand that there are many issues like funding, grants, facilities, opportunities, etc., but you must come out of these challenges. Cooperative research, inter and intra-departmental and intra-institutional cooperation is one way of overcoming these challenges. You know, PGI had been a hub for medical research. It established itself early on its Center for Medical Research, pioneering studies in various fields of medicine, surgery, and public health. It attracted faculty and students who are keen on research, making significant contribution to medical sciences. The Institute's research output has been recognized both nationally and internationally. garnering funding and collaborations from various organizations. PGI studies have greatly influenced the policy making and medical practice within and outside India. Please imbibe these culture and learn from the great researchers of this great place. Be careful about ethical practices and plagiarism issues while you are doing research. If you wish to excel, you must work beyond your official duty hours, spending extra time. You cannot and you should not take the plea of excess workload. In any case, you have to come out and stand out. The Institute will have a great role in this regard by facilitating research and inculcating the research environment in the Institute, which is there in any case in plenty in this Institute. The researchers must not face any difficulty, whether administrative or academic hurdles. Encourage research, encourage mentorship programs, and focus your priorities. Small intramural grants can be given to youngsters, including the faculty, to encourage them. I have also something to talk about my young friends. I remember during my entry to the medical college, our anatomy professor, Dr. Basu, telling us during the first introductory classes, that was in Bengali, he used to tell that dhukte kasto, padte kasto, bareto kasto. It means that when I enter into the medical profession, it is very difficult, it is competitive, getting a medical seat is actually very difficult, you know. Similarly, while you are in the course, the study, you have to study very hard, work very hard, and bareto kasta means when you come out, you have to pass out the examination also with very difficulty and hard working. This still holds true today. You are lucky to get a seat in this great institute and become the part of the PGI family. You will have a name and fame and a tag value of this institute. However, you must work hard, get as much as you can, and try to extract knowledge and skills from your teachers as much as you can. Practical training is must, and you can only learn from here during your training. One thing I have learned from my residency at PGI and undergraduate days from SCB Medical College at Cuttack, where I was graduated, I can proudly say that my contemporary trainees, including myself, can still work, are trained for working even 24 hours at a stretch, and still will be able to draw venous blood samples like any one of you, can set up an IV line, or even doing a venesection at this age. Learn and practice ethical values, have empathy with your patients, as I have already told, and learn the art of patient handling. Knowledge has no boundaries, it has no horizon. Only hard work will get you all these. I am sure most of you go for further specialization and do better things and excel more than what your teachers are doing or had been doing. So during the next few minutes, I'll just try to share some of the exciting journey of medicine through the evolution from the very beginning, from the prehistoric era, from its ancient roots to the groundbreaking innovations of today and the promising horizon of tomorrow. And this presentation I have named as the medicine, the past, present, and future. And if time permits, then I will share some of my days when we are trained, and I am sure the same thing will continue in a better way. Can I have the next one? Yes. आ नहीं रहा है, चल नहीं रहा है. if we go to the early medicine in the prehistoric era, that means at that time men believed illnesses and diseases were the punishment of gods. The first physicians were witch doctors and treated illness with ceremonies. So somewhere between 3300 to 525 BC, that is the ancient Egypt area, that was the dawn of medical care, which was greatly influenced by wealth and trade. Gods, demons, and spirits played a key role in causing diseases. So the mast pig's eye for eye problems, the crocodile dung as contraceptives, early Egyptian, the wooden toes, dental bridges, etc., they are also being used during those days. Then let us start with the ancient practices. The medicines began with the herbal remedies, spiritual healing, and trial and error methods. Civilizations like ancient Egypt, Greece, Romania, and China were pioneers in this regard. Then think of the Egyptian physician like Papyrus, Greek humoral theory, and a traditional Chinese medicine, all early attempts to make sense of health and illness. Maybe at that time, during those particular times, everybody thought that yes, that was the best for the time being. Our own system of medicine in India, that is Ayurveda, Siddha, system of medicine, Unani, and homeopathy, etc., they are mentioned in our great scriptures like Vedas and Upanishads, etc. The Babylonian era that introduced the concept of diagnosis, prognosis, physical examination, and prescriptions. Patients were treated with various therapies. Both magic and medicine served as a strategy for healing the sick. The Dark Age, in fact, which was between the 400 to 800 AD, particularly for the medical science, after the Roman era, practice of medicine reverted back to primitive medicine dominated by superstition and dogma. You see, the medieval medicine, that is particularly actually the startling point was the Black Death, which the history has recorded, that is the bubonic plague that finished almost the entire Europe. There are other epidemics, they are mentioned like variola, dysentery, scurvy, and leprosy, etc. Then came the theory about invisible germs that spread and cause disease, and then the first-hand knowledge of the Arabic medicine, then challenges to Galen's hypothesis, and then gradually started the Renaissance medicine, that is in the form of texts, printing presses, and dissections, etc. I think during these days one of the very important concepts in medicine came up is that challenging what somebody tells, the others can challenge them with proof. Then progress accelerated. The thinkers like Hippocrates introduced the rational approach in medicine. The germ theory by Pasteur and Koch revolutionized our understanding of disease. Anesthesia, antiseptic, etc., they transformed the surgery, making it safe and more effective. The medicine in the 17th and 18th century, they gradually came in with the discovery of cell, microscope, then the newer techniques of surgery, understanding of pathology, obstetrics, the treatment of scurvy, and then anesthesia, etc. And in 18th century, the scratch that saved 1 million lives, that is the discovery of a vaccine, particularly that of smallpox vaccine, is a innovation and path-breaking, one should say, is the research during those days. Then other branches of medicine gradually came up, and you see the physiology and particularly the germ theory of diseases, that is the discovery of germs and how they cause disease, they gradually came up. The French chemists like Louis Pasteur, They established the science of bacteriology. Then they discovered the rabies vaccine. And then in around 1870s, the development of practical application of the germ theory of the disease that was practiced. And then with the use of carbolic acid or phenol as an antiseptic. Then obviously in the 1880s, in 1882, Robert Koch, he described the Koch's phenomenon, the discovery of tuberculosis, and then the Vibrio cholerae, etc. So that is how the science started progressing. Then the discoveries in the field of anesthesia, stethoscope, then the Red Cross organizations like where the patient care improved, and then the discovery of cholera vaccine, and the medicine in the late 19th century was that was the dawn of radiology, new fields in psychiatry, and understanding of parasitology. These things came up gradually. In 20th century, from the ancient molds to modern miracles, the discovery of antibiotics, various antibiotics, that is the BCG vaccine, then the Alexander Fleming's, the accidental discovery of the presence of molds, and then the discovery of streptomycin and other antibiotics, and the march went on. The medicine in the 20th century is again, there was further improvement occurred, the various machines, innovations they started, and then in the 21st century, that is the era of a human genome, the mini liver, embryonic stem cell research, and then the other things they came up with the nanomedicine, stem cell research, then the personalized medicine that including genomics, then transcriptomics and proteomics, etc. Then the technical trends also in medicine started coming up with the augmented reality where the blood sugar can be monitored through the tears. Then the artificial intelligence, I think the talk of the day, and then other things like medical 3D printing and other things they came up. So friends, the history teaches us resilience. Early medicine was full of errors, bloodletting, trephining the skull for instance, but these missteps paved the way for the scientific rigor. As future doctors, you will continue to learn from both success and failures as the medicine has developed over the years. You know, currently the various top technologies in medicine include a number of things that I have enumerated that start like the mRNA technology, particularly for the development of vaccines, then the virtual reality in healthcare, that is handling the mental health and the pain management, then the neurotechnology, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, then precision medicine, then the CRISPR, that is for the the gene editing technology, the telemedicine and the remote patient monitoring, health wearables, technology in the mental health, then the management system, the healthcare management systems through the practice management software, then blockchain in healthcare, robotic surgery, then electronic medical records, etc. in the hospital management. You know, we all know that medicine is a ever-changing science. That is the first sentence if you open the Harrison's textbook of medicine, and with expanding theoretical and practical knowledge, then constantly there is a evolution and improvement in automation, computers and mechanics in all aspects of medicine. One has to align, adapt and integrate the innovation while preserving the core value inherited from previous generation. The Sir William Osler, the father of modern medicine, revolutionized clinical practice of medical teaching by focusing his attention in each patient's individual profile, history and clinical examination, by using close and direct observation, by integrating all the information to build the differential diagnosis, and then by reaching the final diagnosis and treatment plan based on the available scientific data. You know, it is said that the good physician treats the disease, the great physician treats the patient who has the disease. His innovative approach for that time became a century later the concept of patient-centered care that will govern our practice today. In terms of outlook for the future and the dynamics of medicine, you know, the philosophies of one age has become the absurdities of the next. As we say, the previous practices, now think how absurd they were, but they were the best for that time. And the foolishness of yesterday has become the wisdom of tomorrow. That is how we keep on learning. You know, the increasing importance of high technology in medical and surgical interventions, role of clinical judgment, problem solving abilities, computer literacy, etc., they cannot be overemphasized. The other, you know, with time, I think the focus then shifted to evidence-based medicine, and then the patient-focused care, and the shared decision-making approach. That means discussion with the patient, that is the concept of informed patient choice. So they are, you know, practiced over time. And then you see, I think one of the important area in the advancement of science is personalized medicine, which was first mentioned in 1971, but received increasing interest in around the 2000, 1999 and 2000. In 2013, if you remember, the utilization of biological information and biomarkers at the level of molecular disease pathway, genetics and proteomics, as well as metabolisms. You know, in 2015, the USA President Barack Obama launched the precision medicine, you know, initiatives. So this is just to give one example of lung cancer. You know, earlier we used to think that lung cancer is one disease, it is small cell cancer or non-small cell cancer. But you see now in this era, you can see the various genetic changes at about more than 50 different genetic changes that take place. And out of that, around 11, these genetic changes, they are utilized in the form of medicine. That means the targeted genetic changes, that where you can treat them with the targeted drugs. And so from the traditional view of single disease, then you can see over the years, the present view as it is the EGFR positive lung cancer, it is ALK positive cancer, and then obviously subsequently came the era of the PD-L1 expression, so wherein we can give them with the immunotherapy. And then, as you see, as the development went on, when the median survival was only few weeks to few months, in the present time actually you can talk of that yes, the disease is almost nearing curable, and in the median survival has been described in years, now 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, etc. Same thing in the field of tuberculosis. You see, once you identify the genes, like they say, for example, if it is RPO-B gene, then it is rifampicin resistance, and then you treat with the newer drug regimens, newer drugs like B-PAL regimen, bedaquiline, pretonamide, linezolid, and then with the addition of moxifloxacin, etc. So this is how the personalized medicine developed. So then obviously other things like longevity medicine to prevent the development of diseases, to reduce the exposure to predisposing factors. Then the high value care, that is choosing the wisely campaign. The aim was to raise awareness about the habits and improve quality of medical care, underlining that apart from economic burden, unnecessary procedures or treatment could be detrimental to patient. So these are the concepts they came in, and then obviously COVID-19 pandemic taught us many things, how to adopt the newer things and evolving things. You know, the innovation and the discovery are the drivers of progress in medicine, which is an ever-changing science. The core concepts in current medical practice, as I have already told, it is patient-centered and high-value care, evidence-based and personalized medicine, digital health that is gaining momentum. You see, all people, one of the main idea of the progress in medicine is that the question is when the medicine in the future is becoming high-tech, but basic issue we should not forget is that all people should have access to the medical care that need without the risk of financial hardship or poverty, as was described by WHO. That is what is the universal health care. So there are multiple factors. One of them is digital health that will help in providing this universal health care. There are three key aspects of a digitally transformed universal health care. That is, the digital technology implementation should facilitate the applicability, convenience, approval, and quality of health services. It should aim to aid and promote preventive, personalized, and mobile medicine that is easily accessible, and it should support the patient's involvement and interaction with the health professionals and providers. You see, the digital health, as we are talking, there are multiple domains from the electronic health or e-health, the digital technologies including artificial intelligence, big data, and multi-omics in different fields of medical care. The e-health, as per WHO, it is the use of information and communication technology in support of health and health-related fields, including healthcare services, health surveillance, health literature, and health education, knowledge, and research. See, the telemedicine is again another important area which facilitates remote access to medical care. It reduces cost, expedite medical contact, and improve the health outcomes. The routine implementations in clinical practice will be a cost-efficient and time-saving method to optimize the health delivery. You know, AIM Health, it is the utilization of mobile device such as mobile phones, monitoring devices, etc. The smart health concept that is again coming up, that is by use of big data and advanced IT system to analyze the patient information in order to improve the accuracy of diagnosis and treatment, and this will enable the patients to easily access their complete medical history and a treatment plan by smartphone or tablets, and giving them the possibility to get in touch with the specialty using the chart methodology. You know, the machine learning, that is the acquiring and interpreting data, able to learn and predict patterns, and obviously the use of multi-omics. You know, the other high-tech areas in medicine is the large language models, or the LLM. So the AI algorithms that use computational technology and neural networks to generate language. Then the ChatGPT that was launched by OpenAI, that emerged in November 2022 and immediately became the most popular this large language model. The ChatGPT that is being used, this LLMs can conceivably improve the patient care, the medical research, and medical education. You see, so therefore, the application of intelligence or the AI in medicine, that is one of the most promising technologies in the coming decade. It is rapidly expanding and has made significant inroads. Almost all aspects of human life, like industry, finance, day-to-day activities, commerce, including healthcare. So they are benefited by artificial intelligence, and healthcare sector is the one to benefit the most by this artificial intelligence. You can see the AI in healthcare has a wide array of utilities that you can see, starting from automated and assisted diagnosis and treatment, real-time patient prioritization and triage, pregnancy management, health assistance, error-free diagnostic results, intelligent symptom analysis, predictive and early, the diagnostics, radiology assistance, the various pictures, data mining and analytics, and many things, drug discovery to surgical robots, etc. Then you see, so the same thing if I summarize, there are various uses starting from screening to diagnosis, drug discovery and whatnot. I think this is one of the important uses in our TB control program. This is the largest and fastest growing public health program in the world today. That is the National TB Elimination Program. Our issue of diagnosing TB is one of the important technologies is radiology, and there is obviously problem of interpreting the X-ray. So the artificial intelligence is being used to study the radiology of the patient and getting the diagnosis. However, there are many pitfalls and challenges of artificial intelligence, particularly the accountability, the autonomy, data privacy, collaboration, etc. And there are many medical issues. So for India, the ICMR has developed the guidelines. Then the next point is from the high tech. So will the medicine of the future be high touch? Also, the role of future human doctors in the healthcare systems. We know that healthcare is a complex concept. There is importance of empathy and its consequences like compassion. So empathetic AI is thus either impossible or unethical. That means it cannot replace the human touch, the touch of the physician, the patient-doctor relationship. Of course, that cannot, and I think it should, artificial intelligence cannot interpret. Then as we are talking of the optimization of healthcare, that is what is the goal of the WHO. And you see in India there is a tremendous improvement in the optimizing the healthcare, how it will reach the poorest of the poor, like the various schemes that I am not going to enumerate all of them. You know that Ayushman Bharat, it is a flag scheme of the government of India, where the large number of health and welfare centers, the various schemes like Pradhan Mantri Jan Aayog Yojana, or what we call PM Joy, these are some of the examples how the universal health care will reach everybody. So medicine today, ladies and gentlemen, is rooted in evidence-based practices. The focus is not just on curing disease, but also on understanding the patients holistically. The doctor-patient relationship has evolved to prioritize empathy and shared decision-making. Then technology is a game changer. From robotic surgeries to telemedicine, it is revolutionizing patient care. Imaging tools like MRI, CT scans, PET scans, and molecular biology allow us to diagnose with precision, saving countless lives. You see, however, the challenges remain. Health inequities are there a lot. COVID-19 and many emerging infectious and non-infectious diseases taught us the importance of preparedness and global cooperation. You all, hearing now every day about the new disease that is coming up, what is the reality and what is not reality. So these challenges call for innovation and dedication from future medicos like you. There are many other future challenges for the medicine like climate change, then the regenerative medicine that offers hope for conditions once thought incurable, Stem cell therapy and organ regeneration hold immense potential, but they also raise ethical questions which you must navigate responsibly. You see, as human venture into space, the space medicine must adapt when microgravity affects health in unique ways, and that also we need to understand and know. The ethical challenges for future is with innovation comes the responsibility. Balancing the cutting edge technology with compassionate care is vital. You will face ethical dilemmas such as genetic engineering and AI biases. So always prioritize the patient welfare. You know, the emphasizing point is the patient is the Lord. Priority is always he or she. Social approach is paramount. All others are secondary. Sympathy and human approach is the test of time. You know, if you ask what will be the futuristic medicine, this is a survey by opinion leaders. There are many, the leaders, they told many things. Yes, the inclusion of big data, analytics in daily routine, the progress of gene and CAR-T therapies, then the zero protective drugs, vaccines, use of precision medicine, etc., etc. And then the most 5 or 6 important areas that stand out are the personalized medicine, stem cell, nanoscale medicine, gene therapy, digital health. So possibly it is expected that they will transfer, and many people believe that is going to transfer our healthcare between now and by 2040 or 50. So how the future doctor is going to adapt to this futuric medicine? You know, there is a necessity of a balanced education, adapting to uncertainty in medical decision making, and then the understanding in incorporating these thoughts into action. And then there should always be a balance between theoretical knowledge and the social and rational abilities, and to bring back the humanity into healthcare is very important. Then there should be aim for universal health coverage. That is, of course, the ultimate idea, and future care should always find the balance between the high tech and the high touch, and aim for global availability. So the core concept in current medical practice should include patient-centered and high-value care, evidence-based and personalized medicine, and of course the other things as we have discussed. So we must understand AI and the doctor, so AI should be a partner, not a replacement. And then medicine is a bridge between science and humanity. By combining knowledge, technology and empathy, we can shape the future of healthcare. Remember, as young medicos, the torch of innovation and compassion is in your hands. Then, so where does PGI stand? You know, the PGI in the future, these are some of the things I have taken from the descriptive part of PGI. That means the looking towards the future, PGI continue to embrace the new technologies and methodologies in medical education and patient care. It is constantly upgrading its facilities and curriculum to keep pace with global standards. And then commitment to excellence, it looks forward to the future, it remains committed to its founding principles of excellence in medical education, research and patient care, and you should be proud to be a part of this legacy. You know, then just 1 or 2 slides about the teaching and training, then how we are done, what Professor Verma has taught us or taught me. You see, I am not trying to tell something, yes, that was possibly the best, or this is nothing going on. It is just the experience sharing. I will tell you can take it as you think correct. I have already told you the difficulty with which you enter the Dukte Kasto, just to enter PGI is very difficult. You are During those days, there were two-step entry, at the first year, then at the second year, third year, you have to be, some of us, we are eliminated. There is no certainty. Now, of course, once you enter for 3 years. You see, the number of residents was much less. So, I was asking the director how many residents you have got now. And now and then you see many times, there are hardly, we are 6, 7 per batch, but now it is many. I think the one department has 110 residents, that means almost the entire, it is almost one batch of MBBS students. So I do not know how much the faculty or the head of the departments, whether he will be able to know the name or not, whether he will be able to recognize them or not. So then the other thing, some of the, again please try to understand, I am not trying to tell that this was the, say for example, night duties, we used to, Dr. Verma will give us the duty, you come in the daytime, but you continue in the night duty, and then continue for the same day also, no offs. Actually, we are very happy doing night duties because 40, 50 years ago, there was no syringe, even sufficient syringe was not available. So if you are on the night duty, so at the earliest you will be want to get the syringes so we can take the samples. Because if you are not on the night duty, you come around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, then all the syringes, vials, they are all finished. So you are in a soup. And then you see there was no phlebostomist, availability of syringes that I have already told you. Because obviously now I learned that PGI has employed a phlebotomist so that the residents could give quality care, possibly that is the idea, and I am sure they are giving quality care. Then the history writing and progress notes, the knowing everything about the patient, have to tell everything about the patient. Just writing, you have to finish that because that gives us training. It is just not a mechanical work. I remember once my nephrology, consultant, Professor Nath, he came and somehow because of heavy work, I had just written 2-3 lines. So he just came and threw my case sheet from one end of the nephrology ward at the beginning, and then he threw that. He said, yes, you don't think these are not the Odisha Medical College, you write this, you just write it properly. Because that gives us good training, everything, a systematic thing how you examine a patient. And then the case presentation, ward rounds with the senior residents, consultants. Then there is no timing actually, it is late and early rounds. The rounds used to start late in the evening with a cup of tea. And then the bedside clinical testing, I'll just tell you a very interesting story. Professor K.S. Chuk, the great man, although he was a nephrologist, but they are good, he's internist. So I was posted as a house physician under him. So he came for the round. One patient had got anemia. So he told me, okay, you do the hookworm testing in the stool of this patient, and tomorrow during my round time you tell me. So the 3 of very senior people were my residents, junior residents. So now he's a Padma Bhushan awardee. He's a great, I will not name him. So then he told me, okay, when the Professor Chu comes tomorrow, you do one thing, you need not have to do this test, but you go on describing how you did this test. So again, the next morning, Professor Chu came for the round. He again remembered, he told, Behra, have you done the hookworm testing? I said, yes, sir, I have done it. So he told, okay, so how did you do it? So I said, okay, I did it. I took the beaker, beaker, and then I stirred it. I put the stool. He told, okay, so you did. Please go and bring that beaker, so which you have done it. So I was in a soup, and my seniors, they were also in a great soup, so they felt a little, I could see that. He told, no, you go and bring it. Then I went, we used to have a side room. In the side room where we used to do the blood testing and very small things. So I went and tell him, give me a beaker. He told, sir, we don't have beaker in the side room. So then I said, what to do? I have to bring it to Dr. Chuk. So he told, okay. He said, okay, Dr. Sahab, you do one thing. I have thrown a beaker today morning only, but the bottom of it is already broken. So how can you do it? I said, okay, I can do it. So I took the beaker and then the bottom part covered with my hand. I took it. So by that time, actually, my seniors, it was actually Dr. Clare, the great, he's a great cardiologist now. So by that time, they had actually told everything to Dr. Chu. Actually, it is not the fault of Dr. Behera. We had actually told him to, tell the wrong things to you so that he need not have to do extra work. Please forgive him. So by the time I came with that, broken beaker in my hand, so Dr. Chu gave such a, he's a very terrific person. So he just gave a good laugh. He told, yes, Behera, I know how hookworm is done, and I have already been told about the story. Plus, you remember one thing, never do something if you have not done anything, don't do it. So obviously I touched his feet, sir, I will never in my life, I will never do it again. Please forgive me. So with his greatness, he forget. I thought my days are over in PGI now because I have done something. So these are this may be a very interesting story, but the question is that there are also the teachers who are great people, great men. They understand how one to forgive. Then obviously there are clinical bedsides. They are very common. Then the combined rounds with the different units. Then presentation of clinical cases, students, CPC. They are all also still going on, but I don't know how many of there used to be, rush for the class of people like Dr. Khatri's class. If you have to be on time, if you are not on time, the doors are closed for you. Then seminars, journal clubs. Then what is the importance of this? The importance is you get an opportunity to present to a group of, there are 40, 50 different people. You are trained from the very beginning how to, speak in a crowd. Then the question was again before examinations. Usually it is a trend, it is a practice that the resident, we used to tell the professor that yes, give us some off, because there will be no off was given. So I remember Dr. Chug and Dr. C. Prakash, they are fighting with each other. One unit gives off for 15 days or 7 days. The other unit does not agree. They say, no, we don't give offs to them. Then another thing was availability in the wards. So maybe, so again, I am not trying to criticize anybody. The question here, sometimes when we go to the wards, you don't see any resident, particularly after 2 o'clock. Maybe they are busy in reading in the library, or maybe in the comfort of the air conditioning in their rooms. But again, that is another thing. But all the time, the residents were available in the wards. Then the dedication and punctuality was the key word. Then you see the pushing and pulling the patient trolleys even by the HODs, the great surgeons. Again, I am not trying to advocate that yes, we should, this is not our job, but if you do that job, you don't become small, because that is what is, I think, the things which we are taught. I am sure still same thing is going on, but this is how the one should get trained. Then fighting with others for your patient. If something, the blood is not available, the report is not available, the patient is not your relative. You go and fight with the technician why it was not done, why the report is not available. Then that shows your involvement with the patient care management. Then getting and collecting the patient investigations, it was your responsibility. You are supposed to run around and then get the reports. Again, with due apology, I say I am not advocating, I am not trying to say that, but this is what was done. Then the cordiality with the faculty, that I do not know how it is going on, but maybe over time that may be a casualty that should not happen. A cup of tea after ward rounds, Dr. Verma used to take us, and then he will tell, chalo, the fourth floor chalte hain, and then he will give he will offer a cup of tea. You sit there, talk there, you get relaxed. Then going out for the departmental picnics, going for the dinners in the consultant's house, because that gives a, the rapport with the seniors and with the juniors. Then there are a lot of cultural interactions like the sports event that is still going on. We used to have Friday and Sunday movies. The Dr. Wahi coming with his family and then sitting with the residents. Of course, now the things have changed. You can see your movies on your phones also. So good food and cafeteria that was there, I am still. So now obviously people come and deliver the food in your hostels. So many of our resident friends, they have even not seen the Sector 17. These are the stories during those days. So hard work was the mantra. Yes, there were strikes. Yes, we used to have our own demands. I am not telling one should not go for strikes, because when there is genuine demand, so the administration should listen to that. The government has to listen to that. I always believe that. But the question is that the demand should be genuine and everything. But they were relatively rare. We had got our larger strikes for our own demands. There was no disharmony with the faculty and the HODs, which many times up and on now he hear and read out from the paper. That should not happen in a family. There should be a sense of belonging, and then the great respect you get as a PGIT outside the center. So now there are a lot of challenges currently, of course, for the residents themselves and for the administration. The competition is huge. The number has increased many times, as I have told you. There is a patient overload. The faculty-resident interaction is possibly a casualty now. Then there are a lot of medical legal issues coming up, so you should be careful about those things. Then the relaxation and the duty hours, obviously it should be there, and obviously even the government, even the Honorable Supreme Court is telling that there are guidelines. So these things should be done. I think what is more important is for the people sitting in the front rows and sitting here, that you should also listen, interact with the youngsters more often. And then many of the things like the stress levels are very high. That I was just reading the other day, there are a lot of suicides, a lot of mental issues by residents, and I think those things need to be taken care of. But again, young friends, never go to the extremes. That should be one very important issue. And then both the faculty and administration also has a great role. Then the get involved, I think it is my appeal to the director and to Dean sitting here, that try to involve in the research activities the youngsters. Of course, we do the thesis and dissertation work. They are not enough. So there are a lot of opportunities. The institute should do it. The many organizations do that, including our National Academy also. We support the residents. So DPGI may ask for research funding from Government of India in their regular budget. I don't see a research grant being asked by the institutes through the regular budget. So that should be done. I think one of the statements of the director, I liked it, so therefore I am trying to project it here. So his main statement was, every patient is our responsibility. I think this is a great statement, Dr. Vivek Lal. It is and I think our youngsters should remember this thing, that every patient is our responsibility. So now I think this is my last slide. As NAM, since I am looking after the NAMs now, I'll request you be part of the National Academy of Medical Sciences. The NAMS has got many things for everything for everybody. If you are a postgraduate, if you are a postdoctoral, or of course if you are a faculty, then there are a lot of facilities. Please avail that and become part of this national body. So, friends, remember, you are the best. You will be the best. You are lucky to get a chance to be trained and taught by the best. Be a proud PGIT and maintain its legacy. So, with these few words, I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you, sir, for taking us through this mesmerizing and amazing journey of medicine. As a mark of our deep respect and gratitude, exuding from the core of our hearts, we now move on to felicitate our chief guest. For this, I humbly request all the dignitaries on the dais to please move forward for this ceremony. Things are always incomplete without thanking every soul who has contributed to organize this function. For this, I request Professor Sanjay Jain, Dean Research, to kindly propose the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Good morning, respected Professor Behra, Director PGI, esteemed faculty members, distinguished guests, and my dear students. It's both my distinct honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on this special occasion of the new academic year. First and the foremost, sir, I will extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Behra for his truly inspiring and thought-provoking speech. Sir, your words have truly inspired and motivated us all, and have also resonated deeply with every medical professional who is present here today. Sir, on a personal account, I would say that I have never met William Osler or Charka or Shushruta, but I then met Professor Chugh, Professor Chopra, and persons like Dr. Behra. And today I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of them for being my guide and mentoring me so that I could do professionally. Thank you very much, sir. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Vivek Lal, who is the Director PGI, whose enthusiasm actually reflects the vibrant academic spirit that defines our institution. Finally, I would extend a warm thank you to the organizing team for their meticulous planning and execution of this event. To our students, thank you for your commitment and dedication towards an excellence. You are the future of healthcare, and we are incredibly proud of you. Finally, I thank each one of you who is present today in the auditorium for actively engaging and making this event truly memorable. Have a wonderful day, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. May we now rise for the national anthem. Please join us for a cup of tea and breakfast in the lawns adjoining the Bhargav Auditorium. Jai Hind.